Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. Can you hear me back there? No. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now? Okay, thank you. Welcome, everyone, single subject applicants. We are super excited to have you here today. Not only are you one of our biggest cohorts that we've had, but we think that you're probably one of the most talented, which is very exciting for us since there are jobs available, I should say, in certain content areas. And in the future, the superintendent of Sonoma County Schools just told us recently that he has over a third of his workforce retiring in the next 4 years. A third of the workforce, right? So even if you are in a content area such as social science or English that is already impacted and doesn't really have job openings totally available, there will be in the future. Do not leave Sonoma County. Do not leave the North Bay. You will get a job in a year or two. For those of you in math, Spanish, science, and potentially special ed, you will get a job tomorrow, okay? Yes, I'm joking because no, I'm going to force you to go through the program first and then you can get a job. But that's how much you all are going to be in demand. And so please tell your friends, tell your family, there are jobs available in the North Bay in terms of quality educators. And our goal here at Sonoma State is to give you a credential opportunity that is top-notch, that will allow you to understand the latest in standards, also allow you to form a real partnership with the schools that you are at because we're in the North Bay, and of course, leave you feeling like I desire to take this leap into an education field that is amazing, but also highly challenging. Highly challenging because you work with people, young people, and their parents, and the community members day after day after day. This is not a job that's all about your content. This is a job all about your students learning. Your students learning. So although we're here today as content area experts, we will become a community of learners together because the North Bay is committed to making sure that we create quality teachers that will be in the North Bay for the rest of their lives. And I'm totally honest, right? Because here at Sonoma State, I'm an example of someone who grew up in the town of Sonoma, went through the public school system. I'm a dragon, Sonoma Valley High, left, got the heck out of Sonoma High very fast once I graduated, and then came back to work at this facility because I knew that the North Bay was about community, it was about partnerships, it was about quality education, and everyone supporting our K-12 learners. So congratulations on making it this far. Now let's get down to work. Okay, the first thing is you'll notice here up on the right that we have a little tweet, little bird. What is that? You need to know what that is. That is Twitter. Okay, if you're not on Twitter, you need to get on Twitter. All right, and that is a hashtag. Yeah, go ahead and do a collective sigh, but professionally, you need to be on Twitter, right? Twitter and Facebook are not identical. Facebook is about social, peer-based relationships with your current friends. Twitter is about having a professional identity so you can connect with other administrators, other teachers, other faculty, and get the latest updates on what's happening in K-12 education. There's no excuse for you not to be on Twitter, starting today, okay? So there's a hashtag that we're using. That little number sign is a hashtag, SSU Teach. That is where I have posted the slides for you. So do not feel like, oh, Jessica, can you repeat that? Jessica, where in the world are those slides? Because not only did I post those online for you, that you can download, watch over and over again, listen to, because we're also recording it in the back. Everyone turn around and say hi. People, come on, turn around and say hi. There you go. You're in education. You have to be happy and excited most of your life. All right. So, and I'm really not kidding. So there is my Twitter page. You can see there are the docs. I use Google Docs to do this presentation. If you don't know Google Docs, now you do, and you need to get on that as well. Okay. Yeah. Can you tell that I am the ed tech professor? Yes. All right. So before we get started, what we need to do is get to know each other. There's a lot of you in this room. A lot of you don't know each other. You will know each other by the end of May 2016. And so what I would like to do is have an icebreaker activity where I actually want you to actually physically get up and move around. And this might have been one of the interview questions we asked you during your interview, and if it was, wonderful, because you're already prepped. If not, then you have to think on your feet. I want you to ask your peers, what is the most exciting aspect of your content area? What gets you up in the morning when it comes to music, art, physical education? What makes you lie awake at night determining what to do about mathematics and science and next-gen science standards and Common Core standardized. Yeah, right? Right? You're laughing. Yeah, you should be. What keeps you up at night? What gets you motivated to drive into work at 6:30 in the morning when no one else is there? Yeah. It shouldn't be fair. Hopefully, it's a mixture of fear and excited opportunity related to your content area of social science and English. All right. So I want you to get up, and you have two things you have to do. You have to talk to at least 2 people in your content area and ask them that question. So you have to say, "Hi, my name is, my content area is, and here's what excites me." And then you have to find someone outside of your content area and get to know them. Does this make sense? Head movement. Come on, head movement. Yeah, you're going to be teachers. Happy. All right. 4 minutes. Ready, go. Thank you for engaging in that activity. You will engage in more activities like that come Teach Week in late August, August 25th through 27th, in which we develop our own community of learners. Is there anyone that wants to share out something that they learned that resonated with them or was interesting or provocative that you would like to share? Say it again. Anything that you'd want to share that you learned about your peers that you thought was interesting, resonated, or provocative? You know nothing is what you're telling me. Okay. You have to project.
All right, so it seems like we all have what bonds us, I think, is we're all trying to figure out ways. I'm a social science major. I talked to some math majors over there. Something we're all struggling with is how to make our particular subject content area interesting to high school students. And I was joking with them about how I've never really talked to high school students and found a subject they're interested in. So I'll say, like social science? No. Like math? No. Science? No. But at any rate, I think we all share the same struggle, so I think that's what unites us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was wonderful. Yeah. And let's not forget middle school students, right? I mean, those middle school students will be attached at your hip. They have nothing better to do. They can't drive, right? Okay? And so they will love and adore you if you can make a content area, like the young man just said, engaging, motivating, and relevant to their lives. Okay? Now, before we dive into the nitty-gritty of the program, there are 2 people that you need to give applause to, because they are from the Credential office. Now, as my tagline says there, it's a bureaucracy. All right. The state of California has the most rigorous standards and expectations for incoming teachers in the entire nation. That is my professional opinion. Okay. I'm sure other states will want to argue about that, probably Texas, but they're wrong. California has the most rigorous standards, which means if you can teach here and get through this credential program, you can teach anywhere. But because it's so rigorous, because there's such high expectations, we need a credential office and these amazing ladies to help assist you through the bureaucracy. So please give them a round of applause. They've gotten you this far.
Thank you. Hello, welcome. My name is Jenny Reeder. I'm sure many of you may recognize me. I helped you through the application process, answered questions at the program workshops. So that's really exciting to see people who've attended those workshops, and now you're here sitting in this room ready to start the program. So speaking of things that are not very interesting, I'm going to go over some of the requirements to start the registration process. Now that you've all, for the most part, completed your applications, there are a few requirements that I'm sure you're still working to complete. CSET may be one of them. Your CBEST could be another. The certificate of clearance may still not yet been posted. So in order to register for classes, all of those things need to be completed, and official results need to be provided to our office. So either Maricela Ibarra, if you're in contact with her, with myself or Veronica, we'll take those results and add them to your file. In order for us to process basically your recommendation to the university, all of those requirements need to be met. So the process is, once we get all of those requirements, we have your official results, we let SSU know that you're good to go, you're ready to start the program, and then that application needs to be complete as well. So I'm sure you've completed the CSU Mentor application, you've had to provide transcripts to A&R, maybe immunizations. There's also a fee, the $55 fee. If any of those items are outstanding, admissions and records will not let you register. So make sure that you take a look at your My SSU if you've created your student portal yet. That's a good resource to make sure that all of your application requirements are complete with A&R. So they'll list, if a particular transcript is missing, that student portal will let you know. So that's a really helpful resource as you complete the process. So, there's a yellow sheet. I'll direct your attention to the file that you just picked up. Out front, there's a yellow sheet that has helpful hints as you're beginning to complete your program application and start the registration process through SSU. So you'll notice that it does say you have to have submitted the following items to the credentials office. So this would include your certificate of clearance posting, your CSAT results, CBEST results. All of those things need to be in our office before we recommend that SSU finalize your enrollment in the university as well. So be sure to read through this form very closely. Most of the things that I'm saying are on this form, so you have that information to read through at your convenience. The one thing I want to mention is priority registration begins April 17th. So if we have a complete application for you, if you've completed the application process with SSU, there's no reason why we can't process your ability to enroll in classes by the April 17th date. If not, if you don't pass your CSAT in time, unfortunately, it will delay your admission both to the program and to the university. So definitely, as soon as you get those results, many of you have already reported them to SSU through Pearson, but we also need official copies. So make sure those are submitted as well. If you're in progress of completing your bachelor's degree, and your application is complete, we will allow you to move forward with registering. But if you don't complete your program, I know many of you are in subject matter waiver programs. If for some reason you don't complete that program, unfortunately, we will have to withdraw your enrollment in classes. So be sure, as soon as you finish your degree program, you get us official transcripts, and or if you're completing that program at Sonoma State, that we also received the letter from your department advisor stating that you completed your subject matter waiver program. So are there any questions at this point? If you do have any questions, the credentials office is always available. You may already have our email address, but we're in Stevenson 1078. You have a question?
Yeah, if you haven't fulfilled the prerequisites, will that keep you from signing up for classes?
Not the completion of, but if you're registering to take them in the summer, which I should have mentioned this, if you're registering to take them in the summer, we need proof of your registration. So you can get that from Extended Ed, which they're accepting registrations now for summer courses. So you can submit that once you're enrolled, print off the verification that you're enrolled in your classes, and submit that to our office. And once we have that and your application's complete, then we can move forward with your admission to SSU. So good question. Anyone else? Yeah.
So if we came in already with a BA and we're taking the 2 prerequisite courses now, we automatically get readmission, right?
Not necessarily. Well, you completed the CSU graduate application, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So if that, same situation. If we have your posted BA, your application's complete, you've passed the CSAT, and you just need to take the prerequisites,
Right.
we will post your admission as soon as we have proof that you're registered in those classes. So show us proof that you're registered in the prerequisites.
I'm thinking of right now.
Oh, you're in spring?
Yeah, I'm in spring.
Same situation. We already have that information, so we will process your admission.
So how do we know when, like, if the priority registration starts 4/17, how do we know we're able to?
You'll receive a letter from Sonoma State that congratulates you on your admission to SSU. And then there will be an early enrollment deposit, and that's listed on that yellow form as well. Once they admit you to the university and you receive that letter, that formal letter saying congratulations, it'll talk about the early enrollment deposit, and that is required to be paid before you can register.
It's
So-
very important that you read that letter
Yeah.
very carefully. Don't just get really excited that you get admitted and stop there. You have to read the rest.
Well, just make sure that you read that letter that comes from SSU, because it gives you further instructions on how to pay the early enrollment deposit, how to create your My SSU account. So there's a lot of instructions in that letter from SSU.
Those letters have not been mailed yet?
It's very unlikely.
That's what I'm hearing, if people don't have those yet.
Correct.
I don't.
Yes, I would say it's 99% sure that none of you have admissions to SSU yet for fall of 2015 because our office is in progress of processing your admission with SSU. Pending you've completed the application requirements. So your CSET, your CBEST, your certificate of clearance.
Because we have to recommend for you to be admitted, so you might be pending, until we actually make the recommendation. And so not everybody's going to get them at the same time either, because you'll get them as we recommend, as they process our recommendation, then you'll get your letter.
Which do you want to just go into? Your spiel
Which, yes, it's a good way for me to go into what I
segue.
need to talk about. So in that same folder, you'll find a white piece of paper that is titled Student Checklist for Teaching Credential Single Subject. So you have to make sure that it does say single subject up on top. And then there is a date, a print date, and that's the date when we printed this. So if anything has changed between that date and today, it's not going to be reflected on this. Don't worry, don't panic. You can contact me at the email up there. And I'll look and let you know if, in fact, you still need that or if you don't. If you feel that you already have fulfilled one of these requirements and it's not showing on this piece of paper. So, like Jenny was saying, before you can register, you will have to have fulfilled these requirements. You will need to have provided us with proof of clearance, CTC clearance. Not just proof that you got fingerprinted, but you have to have been cleared by CTC. You also will have had to given us proof of your clear TB test, a negative TB test, which I believe all of you have. You will have had to have taken the legal seminar and pass all of your CSET exams as well, and provide proof of having passed the CBEST. Okay, so those are the things that you need to do before we can recommend you, before you can actually enroll into your classes. If some of you might have registered for CSETs that are a ways from now, like let's say in June or July, if you can find a date that's earlier than that for you to register, we highly recommend that, because you have to wait for your passing scores to be sent to us. Then if for some reason you did not pass one of the sections, you have to wait about 40 or 45 days before you can register for another CSET to retake the test. And by then, the priority registration dates might have passed, and you might not be able to register in the class or the section that you would have liked to have registered in. So just not to put that in jeopardy, try to take your CSETs as early as you can, okay? Now, before you can go into student teaching, you will have had to have earned your BA. If you're here at Sonoma State, we can pull your transcript, that's not a problem. But if you're not a Sonoma State student, we will need you to provide a copy of an official copy of your transcript that shows your BA. So you have to wait until your BA actually posts onto your transcript. And this is not the same one that you're going to have to send over to Sonoma State to Admissions and Records. We're two different offices. Admissions and Records will probably ask you for that if they haven't already. We ask you for another one. You have two files at the university. You'll have one file with them, with Admissions and Records, and you'll have one file with us. We don't share, okay? So it's very important that you give that to us. Then before you can actually earn your or be awarded your credential, at the time when you want to apply for us to recommend for your credential, we are going to need you to we're going to have to prove that you have fulfilled the U.S. Constitution requirement. And you can do this by course if you have taken a class. And if you look on the left side, it'll tell you, if you met, need, in progress, you have an idea there of where you're standing. So if you've taken a class and we have already identified that you took the class and that you met that requirement, it'll say met on there. If you still need that requirement, it's because we did not find any classes in the transcripts that you provided that fulfilled that. So one of the ways that you can fulfill that requirement is by taking a test. If your list says that you still need that, in that folder there is a second piece of paper. It's also white, and it has information about an online course and test that you can take, and that's the fastest way for most people to fulfill that requirement at this point. But if you feel that, if you didn't give us all of your transcripts and you feel that you took a class somewhere else, and that will be enough to prove that you did the U.S. Constitution work, then you can also let us know and send us that transcript, and we'll look at it and let you know if indeed it is enough, okay? And then the last thing that you will need would be a CPR certification for infant, child, and adult. Some of you already have turned in your CPR certification. It's still going to say that you need it on there because we don't look at that until you are ready to file for your credential. And the reason for that is because if for some reason you have to take a leave of absence or something happened, or maybe your CPR expires in the middle of your program, you're going to have to take it again anyway. So we just say need, and I look at that towards the end of the semester, or when you're applying for your credential, and I'll let you know if you need it or not, if you have already given us one. But if you haven't, which is actually probably the best thing because you don't want to spend money twice. If you have not, then don't worry about it. It's just something that you will have to turn in when you turn in your application for filing for credential. And I'm not sure if does your department, do you guys also put together a CPR class? No? Okay. Okay, so there are various places where you can do that, and you can always contact us to find out, if we have any recommendations. But really, all you have to do is make sure that it's infant, child, and adult CPR, all three, not just one or two, but all three of them, and have a way of proving that all three of them have been covered, which is usually on the CPR card, but every once in a while, we actually will need an email or a phone number where we can call and confirm. Okay? Any questions about any of that? Yes?
Just to clarify, to register for phase one, we don't have to have already completed the CPR?
No, not the CPR. Mm-mm.
Okay,
You don't.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And over here.
Can you give an example of a kind of class that would satisfy the Constitution requirement?
Let's say Santa Rosa JC has a political science 1. Here at Sonoma State, I think it's, what is it?
Pulse 200.
200. Yeah.
They're typically history courses or government courses or political science would be the content area.
But if we feel that those are on our transcripts, but if it still says need on this website.
We can double check. When we received applications, we evaluated all of the transcripts to determine if it met our, already compiled list of appropriate courses. But if you believe, we can definitely double check.
Mm-hmm. And then we usually will need you to provide a copy of the syllabus so that we can see what the class covered. Yeah.
I've completed the social science CSET, and I'm in the process of completing the science CSET, and I want to register for the science methods course. Does that mean I have to wait until I've completed the science CSETs as well? Or will I be allowed registration access?
No, you can. You can complete the CSET prior to enrollment, or you can enroll in the class and then take the CSET. There's no. Is that what you're asking?
Well, no, I've seen your file, and we can talk about it a little bit more later. Yeah, she passed one CSET for one subject, and then there's another subject that she's waiting to pass the CSET on. So really, it depends on what your credential is going to be. So you have to decide, is it social science or is it science? Because you can't really do both in student teaching, and so we'll have to talk to you about that. Yes?
Will passing an AP US history test fulfill the requirement of the Constitution?
Yes. Yeah. So if
High school transcript?
well, it would depend. If it's on your college transcripts, we could definitely confirm that way, but you may need to provide high school transcripts so we can verify it.
We have time for one more question.
Yes.
Sorry, I just need clarification. So I have to pass and complete and show you proof of my CSET in order to register for fall.
Yes. Okay, and if you have any other questions that are, of more of a just you, very individual nature, feel free to email us, like I said, contact us, give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to go over your questions and find the answers for you, okay?
Round of applause for these two, please. Thank you. When in doubt, call them, email them, go into the office, stalk them. Okay, seriously, and bribe them with food. Okay, because it's such a bureaucracy, there are so many requirements. It's better to be safe than sorry. They are wonderful, right? And so hug them as needed because they are working hard on your behalf. And as you can see in the room, this isn't even all of you, right? I mean, there's over 120 of you. Okay, that's a lot of paperwork coming through. And so please give them a break if they don't know off the top of their head. You can't memorize you, but reach out to them, call them, go into the office. Okay. So if you have additional questions, they'll be here today. Nope, they're going home because it's Friday. But they will be here. Trust me, they're here all the time. It's wonderful. Let's talk about this program you're getting yourself into. Okay. What's wonderful, and hopefully you can see this. It's, God, horrible. I got to talk to them about the screen because we need a much better screen. Remember, though, it's on Twitter. It's on Google Docs. You can download it right now if you sign up for Twitter with the hashtag SSUTeach. All right. Was there a question? No? Okay. What's wonderful about this program is that we actually do create a community of learners, okay? Not only do we have a community of learners with you as students, but we have partnerships in the schools. We know people when we go into schools. We've had their kids. Our kids have had them. We are hugging them. We are laughing. We are crying. And so this community that you're really part of is not only Sonoma State, but it's also the North Bay. When you come into this program, you join two communities, right? The smaller Sonoma State and then the larger North Bay community, which not most schools can say that. San Francisco State can't say that. Cal State East Bay can't say that, right? It's because we have a local geography where people grow up here and stay here. Or like me, they grow up here, leave for 15 years and then say, I need to go back. We put our kids in school here. We raise other people's kids and then they come and work for us or you're sitting in the seat now. And so this is a wonderful place then to actually come into a program and feel like I'm connected. That also means that you need to be willing to be connected. This isn't about you being the expert, knowing it all. This is about us as a community supporting our K-12 learners. And I bring in the elementary folks because they're coming through the ranks as well. We can't ignore them and pretend like they're not important because they will eventually be in your classroom, right? And so this is a full-scale effort to support education in Sonoma County, and I should say the North Bay, really. All right, which I think is wonderful, but also requires you to be an active learner and be open to learning from others. The other thing is this program is a tedious amount of work. If you interviewed with me, I told you say goodbye to friends and family for 9 months, and I am dead serious. I got shingles when I was in the Credential program. That should tell you something. Okay, I went to Berkeley, right? Same state standards. It's a lot of work, but it's quality work because we've designed this as a way to be cumulative. We've designed this because we actually talk to one another. We care about each other. We care about you. We've created courses and a pathway that works for you. It's not just, oh, go to this course over here with Dr. Victor and go to this course with Dr. Grady and everyone's totally separate and unequal. It's not like that at all. We have a community within our faculty and we've worked very hard to create a program for you that is coherent, that is top-notch, and of course supports you in those 9 months when you say goodbye to friends and family. But we're not gonna lie to you. This will be rigorous. This will be one of the hardest things you've ever done. And then you'll get a JOB. Pretty exciting, pretty exciting. The other thing is that we're about reflective practice. One of my heroes, John Dewey, if you don't know this educator, then you need to know him, was about reflecting. We do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience. You, again, as a community coming into this, and we're creating that sense of community as a learner coming into this, you have to be open to reflection. You have to. Your administrators are gonna come and observe you and give you things that you need to improve. Your students are gonna ask you to improve. Your parents are going to ask you to improve. Your colleagues are going to ask you to improve. And that means ongoing reflection from the minute you step into this school as a pre-service educator. That starts day one. In fact, it starts now. We demand that. And if this isn't the right setting for you, please, we will be more than happy to help you find a program that fits your needs. But at Sonoma State, we are committed to reflective practice. And if you're not, we invite you to go somewhere else. We sincerely mean that out of love. We really do. Because this program is rigorous. It's 9 months. It's going to be intense. And we don't want to get in a relationship with you where you feel like this isn't meeting your needs. You don't believe in John Dewey's theory. You're not a constructivist. Okay? So I'm trying to be upfront and blunt as possible because it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time, and it's horribly rigorous. So make sure that you are committed to this program, because if you're not, we'll be more than happy, trust me, we'll be more than happy to find you a place at another institution, San Francisco State, Dominican down in San Rafael, Cal State East Bay. There's also an online teaching credential program through CSU. We're more than happy to help you because it's really about the philosophy of education and what you bring to it. All right, so as long as you're open and you're willing to say, I'm ready, Jessica, to do anything, I'm going to dive in, that's the attitude we want. And of course, length. 2 semesters, folks, 2 semesters. You can extend it, but that means you would extend it for 2 full years. All right, so if you think that you have to have a part-time, if you know you have to have a part-time job, and we understand that. You have family, you have kids, you have a mortgage, right? We understand that. Let us know now or within the next 2 months so then we can prepare that program for you and fine-tune it to make sure it fits your needs. But I'll tell you that a majority, probably 90%, do the 2 semesters and dive in head first. And we can talk about that as well during the break. Program features. We are an innovative program because not only do we have a co-teaching focus, where we don't necessarily believe in the old sink or swim model, where you were partnered with one mentor teacher, they threw you to the wolves in terms of student teaching and just said, I'm going to go Xerox, have fun. We do not believe in that model. We believe in co-teaching, where you become a partner, a co-teacher with your mentor teacher, and potentially mentor teachers. And we've been reaching out to local partner schools to say, hey, we want a commitment from your department. So if we place 3 student teachers at your department, we want that to be a professional learning community. Co-teaching is important to us. If you want the old school sink or swim mentality, again, this might not be the program for you. We also have a major grant for the academic achievement and literacy development for English language learners. We are dedicated to supporting language learners. In this county, we have to be. We have to be. And that is a wonderful opportunity for you guys to come in, work directly with mentor teachers, get supported with them, and also come out feeling like I am ready to go in terms of new ELD standards, English language development standards, and English language arts standards. We have technology showcases, and we're also partnering with KQED, Make and Maker Media, Common Sense Media, and Edutopia. If you don't know who those corporations are or organizations, no worries. You should Google them the minute you leave as you're signing up for Twitter. And then follow them on Twitter, because they're there. And of course, we have a job fair. So this month, we have a job fair for the folks that are leaving our program, 64 of them. Next year in April, we will have a job fair. I guarantee you people will be getting jobs at that job fair. On that Friday afternoon, there will be a bell going off every time someone gets a job right on the spot. That's how in demand it is, and that's how willing the schools and communities in our area want to work with us and come here and find the best top quality candidates, which will be you by next April. Let's talk about the conceptual framework. This is near and dear to us, and you'll notice the link is down here. But our conceptual framework is really a way that helps us express our ideas and our key beliefs, and I invite you to explore that on your own and to see if that resonates with you. Again, this has to be a good match, not only for us, but also for you, because we're putting you in the hands of mentor teachers who we know are top-notch, and if you don't agree with our philosophy, I can guarantee you won't agree with theirs as a mentor teacher. Why we teach? We're about individual development and personal growth, the social and moral aspects, so-called character development. You are dealing with young minds and their rites of passage. This isn't about your content area only. This is about supporting kids with becoming citizens, participating in an online and digital world, of being able to navigate what happens when someone's bullying them and they have suicidal thoughts. You can't pretend that this is only about your content. And I will say that over and over and over again. It's about kids. And it's about their learning and their development as human beings. And of course, ongoing reflection. I will beat that horse to death. Continue to beat it until it's pulverized. Let me show you that. I know you're excited about that. Let me show you our graduate framework, vision statements that's bound by research, theory, and practice. We want to be inclusive. Well, that's not going to work. There we go. We want to be inclusive of all human beings. We love to include families and caregivers, and we're all about inquiry, reflection as educators. So I will let you peruse that on your own. You should have been able to notice it or recognize it, I should say, wrong language, because you applied with your letter of statement of purpose related to that. Let's talk about our faculty. We have top-notch faculty here. I don't know if you know, but in the past 5 years, it has been extremely difficult to actually get a job as a professor. And so we've been able to say then, if you're going to come into our system at Sonoma State, you have to be dedicated to teaching. You have to be dedicated to the K-12 students. And the faculty that we have they are experts in teacher prep. They've been doing this for years. You'll see there's a number there. We've all been secondary teachers, public, charter, private, independent for over 114 years combined. That's what we bring to the table, and we think that's pretty top-notch. We care about teenagers. We care about them a lot. And we are at the cutting edge in terms of educational technology and Common Core state standards and next generation science standards. If you don't know what Common Core state standards and next generation science standards are, please Google them. If you're in the content areas of music, art, or physical education, world language, please make sure you Google those. They're far too long for me to include on this slide because they have their own standards, but they're all going to be tied to Common Core. Common Core is that phrase needs to come out of your mouth if you want to get a job, right? And your curriculum better be aligned to Common Core because that's where we're at. The ship is already turned. No Child Left Behind is gone. And some of you may have been educated underneath No Child Left Behind. It is a whole new ballgame. I'm sorry, Dorothy, it is not Kansas anymore, right? Which is exciting, it's invigorating, and it allows us to be innovative. So please join us in that endeavor. I know I'm sounding harsh, but I'll let the nice people come up and talk to you in a second. But it is a wonderful time to be in teacher education right now. Really wonderful time to join this community. We also have small classes. We're not going to put you in a class like the undergrads where you have 500 other people. You're going to be with a core group of 20, 25, right? Because we believe in that. We've been recruiting mentor teachers. I'm going to bring up your placement coordinators in a second. You need to bow to them, give them a hug, and also clap for them because they've been working diligently already since March to actually find you mentor teachers that are excited and willing to take you on. It's not easy to be a mentor teacher. You don't get paid well, right? You have to be there and nurture young minds like yourselves that want to be educators, want to be committed to the profession. And so we are asking a lot of them, and they are always step up over and over again. And of course, that last part, PAT, that acronym will be tattooed on your body by the time you are done. Performance Assessment for California Teachers. It's basically an intense 40-page document that includes videotaping of you student teaching that we then send off to experts who are calibrated across the state in your content area that then, through a rubric, tell you whether or not you've passed. Deep breath, you're okay. During phase 2, we will support, actually during phase 1 and phase 2, we support you through that. But that is really the bread and butter, right? I mean, that is your performance assessment. And that's what will help dictate whether or not the state will give you a credential. Prereqs, Dr. Susan. Victor, can you come up here, please? Yes. How many of you know Susan? Give her a round of applause. This is one of the nice ones. I mean, she's lovable.
She's lying. Okay, how many of you have taken prereqs? Good, right? How many haven't? Okay. I heard that EDS 418 is a really good class. Okay, so we're good. So 2 prerequisites, EDUC 417, you know this, EDSS 418. We have 2 sections of each in the summer. Those of you who just had your hands up, we're seeing you in the summer. Nodding, yeah. The schedule is up. You can register. So far, I only see 5 in each of my sections, so hop to it here. It's only 3 weeks. It'll go really quickly. Go teenagers every day, right? Okay, next.
You want to do school and society there?
Oh, EDUC 417, also 2 sections in the summer. Everybody, I think everybody knows basically what that is. So the two prerequisite, I'll tell you our philosophy about the prerequisite courses. They're meant to be foundation, really foundation. So 417 covers topics in the history of public education in the state, major issues facing public education. Help me out, you're taking it now. What else? Major theorists in public education. Come on, top. Yeah, that's it, kind of the topics, right? And then EDSS 418, which is, such a good class, right? We talk about the people that matter most, as Jessica said. You're teaching teenagers. You're teaching your subject, maybe if you have time. First comes teaching teenagers. And how many parents in the room? I'm nodding at my friend here. Yeah, there are a few of us here. We care deeply about the kind of people who stand up in front of our teens, we parents, who are more role models and mentors of morality, of health, of kindness, of integrity. Like, those things matter. You're helping them develop into emerging adults. So that's what we're doing in 418, right? We're talking about teens and how they develop. So you're going to take that knowledge, and I hope when you get into the program, when you start focusing on all those C's, classroom management, curriculum, Common Core standards, there's a whole bunch of C's. Once you start focusing on that, you'll remember that the teens are the foundation of all that, right? Teens and the structure of schools and all the context in which they're developing. Okay, should I go on?
Yeah.
Next. So somebody just said to me, oh my gosh, are these all the classes first semester? And as Jessica said, yeah, brace yourselves. I mean, if you have children or active pets that you can't get rid of next semester, I'm just thinking, you can consider doing this in 4 semesters. Ultimately, it'll cost you a bit more, but it might be a healthier option. We have, a handful of people who do that. If you have a job that's more than a few hours a week and requires your mind, a job outside of this, I would consider doing 4 semesters. It's no question about it. It's a lot to hold first semester. So it's 17 units total. We have 3 4-unit classes that you can see up here. EDSS 442 is a kind of a part 2 or the next step after 417. So the knowledge you have of societies that schools exist in, including cultural diversity, which I know Mike and the 417 instructors address, we'll take that to the next step in 442 and talk about how to meet the needs of learners who come from a diversity of backgrounds, economically, culturally, ethnically, linguistically, and so forth. That's 442. It's a bit of a pedagogy class, but also a lot about the communities that your teens are coming from and the families that they're coming from. EDSS 443 A and B. So A is not a class. is the 2 units you're getting for observation. We call it observation and participation in your school setting. So Stephanie and Kirsten are going to set you up in a fabulous placement. You're going to spend 2 semesters there. First semester is for observing. It's active observing. We don't want you sitting in the back of the room staring. We want you to do some of that. And in 443B, we're going to tell you how to do some of that. But we also want you to be actively involved from the beginning.
Typically for the observation, is it 5 days a week? How many days a week
Okay,
are you in the classroom?
That's a good question. We go over this in a lot more detail in 443B, but it's a minimum of 4 to 6 hours a week. I'm going to tell you everybody does twice that. So don't think about a total. We're not going to even talk about the total hours. You have to maintain a consistent weekly schedule at your placement, right? So I would say people do closer to 8 to 10 a week. It's up to you how to schedule that. It could be 1 whole day, which we don't really recommend. 2 half days, 3 half days, that kind of thing. And you know how the schedules work? All our public schools are so different, right? Some of them, like in Petaluma, are A-Day, B-Day, and LCL and other schools have 2 block schedules. So you'll want to go 2 block days. You'll want to go more often than 1 day a week to catch a lot of classes. But that's arranged on your own time in conjunction with your mentor teacher in the school. So 443A is 2 units for those hours that you put in observing and participating, okay? So the B part is the seminar that I do. Am I doing 2 sections? Yes, I'm doing 2 sections in the fall, and I think Mike's doing 1. And that seminar accompanies your observations. So it has 3 major functions. We guide you in the observations. We take care of kind of administrative tasks and liaison with the school sites. We send some letters, some forms, that kind of thing, help you schedule your hours. And the main topic in that class is classroom management and discipline, because we really love teenagers in 418, and then suddenly we had to manage them and control their behavior in 443B. So, So we try to figure out how to balance, that authoritative parenting thing we were talking about. We talk a lot about how to be the authoritative teacher, balancing care and discipline, right? 446 is a significant course. It's about language and literacy across the curriculum, a lot of focus on Common Core standards. Jessica, jump in here. The 446 you've taught it.
Yeah. ELD, there's a new ELD framework that's just been out. It is 25 pages and more, okay? That's just for language instruction, right? Especially for non-native speakers of English. So it's intense. But in that, we make sure that we align it with 442, what's happening in Susan and Mike's classes, and also with 444. And so it's a ton, but it's also meant to support you. So that's why I suggest that you download Common Core State Standards now, download the new English Language Development Framework, and start reading over summer. You have plenty of time between now and August. But start that, get a jump on it, because it is demanding.
Is this for all content areas?
Wow, thank you, yes.
Yes, yes.
So you're,
English language development.
for
Yes,
everybody.
you are a literacy teacher, right? You're like, no, I'm not. I'm a math teacher. You are teaching literacy in regards to math. What does it mean to read, write, be, do as a mathematician? Same for science, same for art. What does it mean to be within the discipline of art? What's the literacy of artists?
Well, you have to write about a lot.
You have to critique as well.
And read. And
So you have to think, not only am I supporting teens, but I'm also a literacy expert, and I'm also a content area expert, and then I'm also going to be a coach, mentor, parent, and support provider. I mean, you're going to wear a lot of hats. And then 444 is your content area methods. That's where you get to dive into your content area. Mentor teachers will be there supporting you as well. But I mean, we have top-notch methods instructors. Really super exciting. Okay, that's phase one. Questions, concerns about that?
So you're with your content area mates in 444. I hate microphones. You're with your content area mates in 444, and then 443B, 442, and 446, you're all together. So a lot of interdisciplinary planning. Of course, when we talk about managing the little bugger's behavior, that covers everybody, right? But in 446 and 442, a lot of neat work you do across subject areas. You good? We okay? Phase one, any questions? Yeah, Susan.
I just had a quick question. So it's 17 units and then it's 19 units. Do we have to apply for additional credits from the school? You're usually allowed to sign up for 16 units.
Oh, yes, we do.
Phase
yeah.
two, we do. Don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Okay.
No, phase one, too, right? Or no? 17?
No,
No,
just phase two.
yeah, we'll take care of it.
So you said we should download the Common Core standards for our subject and the ELD standards.
Yes.
Just to glance at them, before fall. So this is spring semester. So picture yourselves, you're taking your 15 units of coursework fall semester, then 2 units of the 17 total are observing and participating at your placement. So we guide you through this in 443B, but you're doing a lot of observing, you're doing little bits of teaching, you might be doing a small group, you might be helping one-on-one, you're going to be doing a few lessons, right? You're easing into it. Sometime about, I would say, a third of the way into that fall semester, you're going to start focusing in on what classes you'll be teaching in the spring. Most of you will be assigned a mentor teacher right from the beginning. Some of you won't. Some of our larger high schools in particular have an idea in advance that they can take 1, 2, 3 students, teachers in each department, say, and they'll let you, not shop, we call it speed dating, I think, I don't know, shop around. It's kind of a funny thing, but you basically get to see all the teachers, and they'd like you to do that, see all the teachers in the department before you zero in on a mentor teacher. The majority of you will be placed with a mentor teacher right from the start, I think. But so what happens during the first semester is you start thinking, once you're with 1 or 2 mentor teachers, 1 usually at the middle schools, often 2 at the high schools, you'll start thinking about and planning with the school what you might be teaching second semester. So I'm just going to skip to the middle one. EDSS 458 is the 12 units you get for supervised student teaching in the spring. So you say, well, what am I paying for? I'm teaching. Then the kids will ask you that, say, hang on, you're paying lots of money to do this? Like to wrap their minds around that. It's so funny. But you're paying for somebody wonderful like me, or one of my wonderful colleagues to come watch you and support you during that semester. Like, I bring people presents. I say you're doing a great job. I sit in the back and go like this. And we also take lots and lots of notes and give them feedback. So that's what you're paying for, and that because we're taking care of you and setting up this placement. The requirement for student teaching is to teach 2 classes in your subject area for the duration of the school's semester, not our semester, right? Schools go about 3 weeks longer than we do, typically. So you'll be following their schedule. You'll start student teaching the January date that they go back, right? 5th or 9th or whatever it is, earlier in January typically than we start, maybe a week. And then you'll stay through the end of their school year. So the requirement is to teach 2 classes in your subject area and assist in a 3rd class. Those 2 classes can be the same. Teachers use the word prep. You know, they use the word prep. It can be the same topic, like 2 9th grade English or 2 algebras. Math is changing. It's not going to be called algebra, but, you know, 2 of something. But we'd recommend you do 2 different things, 2 different grades. For the social studies people, you absolutely should do 2 different things, US and world, or government and world, right? Because you're getting credential to teach so many classes. And then you assist in a 3rd that's either in your subject area but different than those 2, or in a completely other thing. Could be special ed, could be an EL classroom, which we really like, right? I had somebody do her 3rd class in home ec just because she wanted to see how you manage middle schoolers in kitchens and sewing machines. She had a great time. And she decided she wanted to add home ec as a supplemental authorization to her credential. So you can get creative with it. So that's 458. And while you're student teaching, you're taking 2 courses here, 1 class and 1 seminar. The seminar is EDSS 459. It's a 4-unit seminar. And Jessica mentioned PACT, the really, really scary thing that all our current students are going through right now. And the seminar is just designed to help you step by step through that. And they do a great job with that. And then after that's over, done, you can start focusing on looking for jobs, which they also help you with, right? So you're doing that 2nd semester. And then now, we used to have EDSP 433 as a prerequisite. I wonder if any of you took it already. A few, yeah, well, not that many anymore. We're kind of fading it out. But yeah, EDSP 433, we all thought made more sense during student teaching. And it really does, not as a foundational prerequisite course. Because you'll have students with IEPs and 504 plans and all kinds of special learning needs in your classrooms while you're student teaching. So that class is designed absolutely to help you during student teaching. Good, done. Any questions about 2nd semester?
And then on the blue form in the green packet that we gave you, so you had the agenda here, it has the correct courses for you because I forgot to put the number for special needs. So if you feel like I don't remember a word of that, check out the blue form, download the slides. There was a question, one question. Project for me, yeah. No. Once you've taken it, you've taken it. Good job. Okay. Are you ready? Because I have some bad news. All right? So I really need you to pay attention to this. You've been admitted to the program because our bureaucracy works in a way that we have to admit you to the program, even though you haven't completed the requirements. Okay? So even though you got a letter that says, welcome, you're admitted, which you are, you're admitted to a certain extent. You've been conditionally admitted. You need to pass that CSET and that CBEST. And then once you pass those things, we start counting your content areas. We have 124 of you. We have 90 spots. I'll say it again. We have 124 of you. We have 90 spots. Okay? So this is upsetting. It's upsetting to us. It's upsetting to our dean. We've thrown a fit. We've fallen on the ground. We've yelled and we've screamed. But the chancellor's office at the CSU system says we are not allowed to grow. So let's blame them, right? We have to blame somebody, blame the chancellor. But it's really upset. We are really upset about this because we want all 124 of you, but we can't take you all, okay? So what this means is the minute you take and pass that CSET, send in those scores if you haven't already designated to go to this campus. The minute you do the CBEST, do the same thing, send us those scores, because we will then place you in slots in your content area. And as you can see, English and social science, we have to cap. We have to cap. There are a lot of you. We can't take all of you because it would be over 50% of our program. And because we're in such a desperate need, and I kid you not, I get emails every other week for a math, science, Spanish teacher. Every other week. And so we have to let in more of those because that's the demand. That's what our administrators are asking for. We have people actually saying, you have a pulse, get in here and teach a math class. I just heard that from an administrator today over lunch. Okay? So I apologize to social science and English, but that also means there is a fire that is lit and we need to pass those exams. So you are conditionally admitted. You are not guaranteed a spot. The minute you send in your scores and we process your paperwork and that spot is there, we will let you know, yes, you are in. Congratulations, you're starting fall 2015. Okay? Here's the other thing. If you feel like this is too much pressure for you, we are more than happy, and I mean this sincerely, to find a different program for you. Okay? Dominican, their due date for applications is May 15th. That gives you more time, and you can start their program without passing the CSET until December. Our program is different because we're highly competitive, because so many of you have applied. Again, I apologize. We need to blame the chancellor. So, questions, concerns, comments about this? Yeah, in the back.
So is it first come, first served, or like the CSET first?
Yes, because we tried to make it objective as possible. We interviewed you, we loved you, and that's why you're here. And so in order to make it as objective as possible, we based it on your scores, first come, first serve, and then once it's capped, it's capped. And then we will let you know when it is capped. So if you're still in the process of waiting for your scores, you haven't taken the CSET, we will let you know. We're sorry, in your content area of social science, we are capped. We can recommend these programs to you, and you can always defer. If Sonoma State is the place for you, please come back in fall 2016. We'll make sure you are #1 on the list to be in our classes. All right? Other questions? We'll move from my right to left. Yeah, over here.
Just wondering what counts as official results? Is that the PDF we get from Pearson? Or is that...
With your score that says pass, yes. And then you shoot that immediately to the credentials office and me if you want, jessica.parker@sonoma.edu. And then if you have it, if you've already told Pearson that send it to Sonoma State, then you're fine. We will get it. But I would cheer and beat your chest and email that in the minute you know you've passed. All right, that's the tight deadline we're on. Yeah.
If you've met all the requirements on the list, does that mean you have a spot?
No, you have. Wait, are you saying you've passed the CSET and CBEST?
Right.
Yes. If you've passed it and you are currently in, yes, you are in because we have spots for you. But at first come, first serve, and as social science and English.
So you have the spot just because you made the deadline and you have all that?
No, we will let you know.
You'll send a letter
Yeah.
at some point coming up?
We will. And that's part of the bureaucracy. So I do apologize. You have to proceed as planned, okay? But if you've already passed the CBEST and the CSET, then you are in, okay?
For any subject area?
For any subject area, but we have limited numbers.
Okay, so
A lot of you have not passed the CSET, all right? Keep going this way. Where are we? Yes, in the front row.
2 questions. So if one deferred, would you then need to reapply for next
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
We would, wouldn't you want to shoot me?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. No, all we do is we say, thank you for letting us know that. You just have to shoot us an email and say, I'm going to defer. This is wonderful. And then we will go ahead and make that happen for you.
Okay, and then second consideration, is Dominican considered as competitive, i.e. does it have comparable job prospects as SSU's program? And as objectively as you can answer that.
I know, that's a tough one, isn't it? Yes, in terms of the content areas of science and math and special ed and Spanish. They are also in desperate need. Of course, I'm going to think our program is better, but they do have a quality program. They do cost more, though, because they are a private university. Yeah.
So the finishing a waiver program and showing proof is the exact same thing as finishing the
Yes. Okay, so if you went to a university that had a waiver program. Or currently in one. Excellent point. Yeah, the mathies, they're all sitting together? Yeah, I know. I got you. Yes, if you've gone through a waiver program at a university that's accredited and you've let us know, then yes, you will go ahead and be able to waive the CSET, and then once you pass the CBEST, you are in. Yeah.
So, but like with the cap, when we have to actually show that we've completed it officially, and then you're like, okay,
Now you're officially in. Yeah, and you're art, right?
oh no, math.
Oh, you're math. Okay. How dare art hang out with math? That would be atrocious. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's good. But again, math and science, Spanish, and am I blanking on one? Math, science, Spanish are in high need. So we're not going to cap those.
So,
A little bit.
like, especially for the social science sets, there was only certain set test dates, like January, March, and May, then July or something. So say 50% of us took the test in May, and everyone theoretically got the results on the same day.
I know. Are you math as well? Okay. I'm teasing you. I see where you're going. Yes, we've predicted that might happen, and do not worry. We will take you, and we will fight with the chancellor if we all of a sudden have 110 of you passing at the same time on the same day. I doubt that happens, but if it does, trust me, we will go to bat for you. We will let you in. Okay? Yeah, in the back.
So I've heard mixed answers to my question. So I'm a science teacher, and I passed the first two subtests, and it says that I've heard that you need to pass all three to get into the program. Is that true, or do I need to pass the first two and I'm good and I can register?
Unless you're foundational science, are you?
I'm life science, so I'm taking my third CSAT.
Yes, you need to pass all three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Foundational science credentials still this year, right?
Yes. So if you're foundational in math or science, please see us after, because you don't have to pass all the exams, but that also limits what you're able to teach. So you can't go and teach calculus if you have foundational math. Okay? And we can talk about it. That gets into the nitty-gritty. So find out foundational math or science. Well, let's talk after, because otherwise everyone in the room is going to get confused. Yeah, in the back.
So, I passed the CBEST and I passed the CSET, but I've only received a conditionally admitted email, so does that just mean that I need to?
It just means we're in the process of processing all this. So deep sigh of relief. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Again, just to clarify about the in-progress subject matter waiver things, because I'm currently getting my degree from here in English, which is going to be one of the capped ones. But it's currently in progress, and obviously so is the degree. Does that bar me from being accepted?
No, because we know, we've watched your transcripts. You're okay. We've coordinated with your advisor, Greta or Mira. Yeah. Yes. Please do. Project though. Oh, here she comes.
I want to make sure you all hear me.
This is Kirsten Serby, one of our placement coordinators, also teaches 442 and is absolutely outstanding.
Hi there. Okay.
Get close.
They can probably hear me. This is not a very good mic, by the way. I know that I'm not deaf yet. So I have offered the CSET for science and math if you have not passed CSET for math and science. I got a list of people that had not passed it, and I sent an email if you want to have additional help to pass it. Only Graham, Eric, and Brandon responded in science. So if you did not, just listen up. It's free. We took it out of a grant that we have, and there's a science teacher in Santa Rosa, and a math teacher in Petaluma, John Simon in Petaluma, and Jennifer Fleischer in Santa Rosa, and they will review the CSET with you, because they also teach the foundational level science and math institutes in the summer. So if you would like to participate, be sure you check your Sonoma EDU emails. And I know that Jenny Fleischer in the science already sent the people a survey. She needs to know what you have passed, but she has not. And since only these 3 people responded, they have first come, first serve. She's going to be meeting with people every Monday in April from 3 to 5 at Elsie Allen High School. It's in Santa Rosa because that's what she teaches, and then she can just do it right after school. So if you want to participate in the English and math, see me after this session today so I can get your name.
You mean math and science?
What did I say?
English and math.
English and math, math and science. Yes.
What's your email?
Serby, S-E-A-R-B-Y, like Sears. You drop the S and you add the B-Y, at Sonoma EDU. Okay? Take advantage of it. I'm sorry we have no money for the rest of you. It's just out of STEM money.
Her email is on an upcoming slide. Other questions, concerns? Yeah.
If we decide to do a 2-year program, does the CSAT still need to be passed to
Yes.
get into the 2-year even
Yes.
We're not having art, right?
We're still determining that. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, math, science, Spanish, music, and PE will not be capped at this time. Yeah.
So just to clarify what you mean by you're saying that you're capping and not capping, does that mean that there's just a very designated amount of seats for social science and English, and you will wait for the math, science, and music, or once we reach the 90, it's done?
No, it means that the numbers that are in, we're not allowing anyone else to apply. So of the 124 of you, there's like 20 in science, right? And so we know those numbers are low, okay? And so we're not going to cap them. Whereas in English and social science, it's much higher. And so that's why we have to cap them. Otherwise, we could potentially have, 40, I'm making this up, 36% of you in English and 36% of you in social science, and you make up over half of our program. And we can't do that, right? So we have to balance it out, okay? Yeah. Okay. I want to reiterate that we are upset about this, and if you want to yell at the chancellor, and that we would love to have you in the program, and if you want to defer, we are more than welcome to support you with that. If you feel like this isn't, no, you need to become a teacher, and you are in one of these English or social science disciplines that is being capped. We are more than supportive of you in terms of going to a different program, and we can help facilitate that. Dominican right around the corner, San Francisco State over the bridge, Cal East Bay over another bridge, Cal State Online, Cal Teach is actually what it's called, online program is another opportunity. Okay. At this time, I need to call up your two placement coordinators, Stephanie Simon and Kirsten Serby. These two have been working nonstop. I've been meeting with them, with administrators in the area. We have folks in Sonoma and Napa, Santa Rosa, where else? Windsor, that are thrilled to have you. And so let's turn it over to them. You owe them a huge round of applause.
It's so dark in here. I'm going to need other glasses. So I'm going to be talking about the boundaries where we have it. I am responsible for everyone from Roanoke Park, the high school, all the way up to Ukiah. And Stephanie is responsible for South. She does the middle school in Roanoke Park South, and she also goes over to Sonoma and Tamales and Napa. But it's about even. Last year we placed, I think, 45 students each, and it's quite the process, just to let you know. So I think that's it. You're next.
Okay. So Kirsten and I are the bridge to that community that Jessica talked about earlier in the North Bay. So as she mentioned, we are out having meetings with your future administrators and mentor teachers, and they are excited to have you. So we're starting that process immediately. Obviously, based upon what you just heard, if you've passed all of your testing and your CSETs, you are going to be placed more quickly. But we are in the process of gathering our resources and placing everyone as soon as possible. And that timeline looks like the following. It's going to start next week. As early as next week, you could get a call or an email from one of us saying, we'd like you to go to this school site. And usually the process is that they will interview you. So I mentioned this on placement day. Kirsten will talk a little bit more about the interview process, but that could happen as early as next week. And then throughout April, May, and even into the beginning of June. And don't panic if you don't hear from us right away. It could even be as late as the summer, but that is very rare that happens. We do make every effort to get every candidate placed by the end of the K-12 school year. So as has been mentioned, you have two different timelines. You have your SSU calendar, and then you're going to have your school calendar. And that is a little bit different. So some of you could be starting as early as this summer doing training with your school site, or you could be starting with your school site in August. Most schools start in August around here. So you'll find out based upon where you're placed, and it's not one size fits all. So everybody's situation is different, and placement is very customized to your particular experience, which I'll talk more about in a moment.
Okay, so when we start the placement, then usually all the schools do it this way. I ask if they would like to have a student teacher. And in the bigger district, I have one meeting with all the principals in the district, and I go over it. And then they will write down whether they would like a student teacher. And then in others, I just contact the principal individually, just like Stephanie will do. And then if they say yes, we would really like to have somebody in PE or science, whatever, then I email you, or we email you, and then they set up an interview. And so with the interview, they're not looking for you to know all the answers. So it's like the interview you had to get into the program. You don't know all the answers, and that's okay. There usually is a department chair. Sometimes there is the teacher that would like to have a student teacher, and there usually is a principal. And they just kind of look at whether you are a good fit for the school. Doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. So I will give you an example. I send someone to a high school in English. And this young woman had an interview. She did well in the interview, but she hates technology. They emailed me and said, we cannot have her. She hates technology, and this school is technology oriented. So it was not a good fit for her. Does that make sense? So that comes up. And when you go, dress accordingly. Don't come in shorts, flip-flops. Look professional. You don't have to dress in suit or anything, but wear something you're comfortable in. You'll look professional because they will treat you accordingly. Anything else? I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, and then once they tell us this is a fit, I will then email you and that they're in. So do me a favor, at least in the middle of April or later, to check your emails constantly. It takes time sometimes because certain schools take longer than others. And even if you haven't heard right away, and if it doesn't, let's say that it's not a fit for you that you go to this school, I find you another place. That happens, and it has nothing to do with you maybe not doing something, wrong. It can just be that it's not the school for you. And you'll know. Okay.
A little bit more. Okay. Yeah. So a few of the factors that go into your placement, and as I mentioned, every situation is very individualized, but some of the factors are your location. Clearly, we don't want you to be an hour and a half from where you're going to be teaching every day. So we do look at your location, which reminds me that if you filled out the placement form on March 6th when you came and met with me and your address has changed, be sure to update that. You can either contact me or contact Kirsten.
Next slide.
Yeah, next slide.
Yeah, go ahead. Press the bell.
Voila. So here are our email addresses, and please contact either one of us. Since you can kind of take a guess, if you live in Santa Rosa or North, you'd probably contact Kirsten. If you're Campus South, it's me, but it's not a perfect science because some of you are in the middle or you're close to SSU's campus, and then it just depends. So, is that the right slide? Yeah. So location is one factor that's going to determine your placement, but there are many others. Some of them are more internal, things that we know about the schools, things that we know about certain departments and teachers who might be fantastic teachers, but maybe they aren't the most collaborative or the most mentor focused. Those are not going to be good for placement. So we're looking for the right match, the right skill set, and we are also looking for schools where you actually do not have a strong history with that school. This is a really important point to make because some people feel like if I graduated from this high school, I want to be back at that high school. And actually our philosophy is that the broader your experience, the better. So if you have strong ties to a school, especially if you graduated from there or you have kids who go there, we'd like to place you someplace else so that you have a fresh start, you get a broader perspective, and overall we found that it's a better placement experience for you.
Can I give something? Yeah. I think it's good that you're not student teaching in the school you graduated from because you come in and you go, oh, I just love this school. I have all these wonderful memories. And then you student teach and it's not a good experience. And then they're not going to hire you. So you're much better off going somewhere else, get new experiences, and then you can go back and apply for a job, and then you actually have something different to say and to add. And we found that in the past, it has not worked out, and we just decided it's better that you don't.
So that's it for placement. And again, our contact information is up there. I also have my cards here. So if you think you might be under my placement, I'm going to leave these in the back for anybody to pick up. But it has my cell phone number, which you're more than welcome to contact me that way once we're in contact with each other. So my call will come to you first, but after that, we'll be in pretty close contact.
My phone number is 2095. They forgot the 5. But I am fast with email. You email me. I think I'm pretty good about responding pretty fast. That's what people tell me. Yes.
Just wondering sequentially, do you first get your admission to the program and then you get your placement, or could you possibly get the placement before then?
We get a list. We get a list from Jenny and Veronica and all of them, whether people are ready to be placed, and then that means you have everything covered, and then we start. Okay, but we have lots of places. So
because we're in a funky situation, there could be a possibility that you haven't passed your CSET, but we found a place for you, and we'll have you go and interview, even though you haven't passed your CSET. Yeah. And if that happens, go and do the interview, right? Because once summer hits, it's crickets out there. You can't get a hold of anyone. And so we can't all of a sudden get your scores back in early August and then, be able to place you so easily. So it's going to be funky, right? Even though you're conditionally admitted and maybe you haven't passed the CSET, if these 2 young women contact you, whoa, Nellie, you got to get right back. Stalk them, whatever you got to do, because they found a spot for you. And so you need to jump on that. Okay? Questions, comments, concerns for them? Yeah.
Could you just correct Stephanie's phone number? It looks like it's missing a digit.
Oh my God, it's so mad. Yeah. Well, what is your phone number, Stephanie?
Yeah, it's got one more 1, but actually it's better for you to contact my cell phone, and I'm going to have those cards in the back.
The other thing is also that, does anyone not complete a placement form online? When you came for the interview, did anyone not? Okay, you guys need to see these amazing women after the fact. All right, any others? There was just 1, 2? Okay.
we
Great.
have everyone down. You're all there. There's no secrets.
Yeah. So folks that have not filled out that online form, it's because you didn't come to the initial interview day. You came to the second day and you interviewed with me. See these lovely women after.
It's on the website, so they can find it. Remember that link is right.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see. Okay. I'm going to power through this. I realize it's a holiday weekend. I know that you're exhausted and you're mad at me that I've been talking at you. I promise this won't happen at Teach Week. But let me get through this, and then hopefully we'll have time after. So if you need to leave, you can leave, and then we can have time for questions and answers, okay? Let's talk about teaching as a profession. So you are entering, and I would say starting now, you are entering a profession that is filled with educators who are dedicated to this, which means you need to act accordingly, dress and attire accordingly, and also look at the guidelines that we have. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Our dispositions, okay? We expect you to be, and I'm over here on the right with dispositions, professional educators. And so we need you to actually demonstrate that, model that from day one, all right? We have kicked people out because they couldn't be a professional. We're not gonna put you with minors in a public school system where you're gonna not act professionally. And I will yank you faster than you can say CSET. I don't know why that's on the brain. CSET, if you do not act like a professional. All right? And I'm going to give you some examples in a second, and you're going to be blown away. We expect you to believe in students, that if this is a lifelong endeavor, not only for your students, but for yourself, that you are a lifelong learner as an educator. We expect you to be committed to the social and emotional growth of your students and their community. We expect you to be culturally responsive. This is not a place for you if you don't believe diversity is a good thing. And we mean that in all shapes and forms of the word. Race, gender, sexual orientation, class, ethnicity, language, religion, creed, etc. You believe that knowledge and learning are based on critical thinking, inquiry, creativity, and of course you believe in social justice, fairness, and equality. That tenet is what grounds us. Social justice. We believe in equity here in the North Bay. We believe it as a university, and we want you to believe in it as well. So, let's talk about our expectations then in terms of teaching as a professional. This is what not to do. Take a cell phone call while being interviewed by the principal during your placement. Fire off an angry email to then said principal about what is wrong with her in the school after not getting the placement. Go to high school placement smelling like marijuana. Taking your shirt off to show middle school girls your surgery scar. Taking photographs of middle school girls to share with friends. Do you see the issue with that, people? It's appalling. Show students your party pictures on Facebook from your weekend bash because you're trying to be cool. You are not allowed to be cool. You are the adult in the room. Not be on time because you're not really teaching? Take 2 weeks off from student teaching to go hunting? Dress for a quote unquote, what you called a booty call? Or for a punk rock bowling? Is your attire that day as you student teach? And offer discounts to female students from your job at Victoria's Secret. Those were men that did that. These are all things that have happened in the past 5 years in this program. I will remove you so fast if this happens. Your head will be spinning and I will have you out the door. Because this is ridiculous, and guess what happened to these folks? They were out. And I cannot stress this enough. This seems funny, but it's not. We're dealing with minors. We're dealing with people that they could sue you, and then us, and then the school. And we have spent decades developing these relationships with these mentor teachers and these partner schools, and we're not going to allow you to ruin it. When you get in the program, we will fight for you. We will fight like hell for you. Those women you just met will fight like hell to find you a placement, to keep you in the program, to prep you for what you're about to face. But the minute you pull this stuff, we will remove you. Okay? I need to be crystal clear. There is no room for this in the North Bay or in any educational system. We hold you to high standards, and we expect you to be professionals the minute you walk into this program. I think you can rise to the occasion. I know you can. And I will hold you to that standard just like I hold it to myself, my faculty, my colleagues, and our mentor teachers. All right? So welcome to the program, but don't you dare do any of this. That is my mom coming out. I don't know if you know, I have 2 young children, so I do that a lot. It's like, no, boundaries. Here's something beneficial about our program. In addition to the amazing coursework, the amazing faculty, we also have a fall orientation called Teach Week. Teachers Educating and Creating Hope. Those are the dates that you need to have blazed in your calendar and times. Yes, we do need you there all day, August 25th, okay? So what will happen with placement is that you're gonna get an interview, you're gonna go and interview with them, and they might say, hey, we have a professional development opportunity in June, do you wanna come? And your response will be yes. I would love to go to that middle school professional development opportunity in June. In fact, some of our administrators that we're working with have already said, you need to be at that June date. They will also then come back to school in early August before these dates, which means cancel your vacation in August because you're going back to school with them, your mentor teacher. So in that interview, you need to ask, when are those dates that you need me? Because I would love to set up the classroom with you. I would love to do professional development. And they are giving that to you free of charge. Free of charge because you are in our program. All right? So interview dates, you have to ask, when do you need me? I want to start jumping in. I can start working now. That's what they want to hear. And then these dates, because you're joining 2 communities, Sonoma State Single Subject Program, you're joining the North Bay Educational Community in your site, you do have to miss that day of student teaching. And we will tell your mentor teachers, we will tell the administrators, you need to reiterate it, that on Tuesday, August 25th, I cannot be there. There will be districts that start school on that day. You will have to miss that school. Your first priority is to this credential program, at least in the fall semester. And so we expect you to be here. You'll notice then, Wednesday, August 26th, we've done it just for 3 hours. You come in the morning, get it done, and then you immediately go back to your school site, continue observing. Or you go in the morning for that full chunk of time, and then you come here from 12 to 4. Okay? We'll send it out to you ahead of time so we know you're going to be able to choose which time you want. You cannot choose on Tuesday, August 25th. And then on Thursday, we're in the evening. So you can reassure your mentor teachers, I can be there for Monday, August 24th. I will be there for part of the day on August 26th, and I will be there all day long on the 27th and 28th. And this is a wonderful opportunity, this orientation, because at that Thursday evening, we're going to invite the administrators, we'll invite former student teachers to come back and talk to you. And of course, we'll have alcohol. Yeah, you should, okay. If you don't know, alcohol is a key component of the teaching profession. Where do you think the teachers are Friday at 4 p.m.? At the bar. Okay. Here's what's wonderful about it, is that during Teach Week, this is actually a written response. This is called a cloud bubble, right, that shows you frequency of responses. And whatever is the most frequently responded word, it is highlighted in terms of the text. It gets larger and larger. So you can see that love, kids, inspire, learn, help, life were the most responded words when we asked the cohort from last year, what do you love about teaching? I want to teach because. Right? That's impressive. Love, kids, inspire, and passion are at the center of that. That's what we want here from you. That's what we expect from you. And that's why we put together an orientation right there in the first week of school. And we've canceled classes. You do not have classes that week. You're welcome. You do have the orientation, though. And you're also welcome for this. I know you're going to say, what is LinkedIn? You're no longer allowed to say that after this minute. LinkedIn is a professional community where you go to show your networks that you're connected. And so the minute you get home, you join LinkedIn, and then you find me and you connect with me, and you connect with the other faculty members. We've created a group called SSU Teach 2015 to 2016. You can search for that group on LinkedIn. The minute you send in your contract to us that says, yes, I'm coming, because some of you might not want to come, and that's fine. We don't take that personally. But once you send in that form that says, I am coming, we send you a link after. Not right now. You're going to wonder, why haven't I gotten the link? I haven't said it yet. You're okay. Deep breath. And then you have to, these are the ways to join. Search for SSU Teach or turn in your contract, attend the program. You do need to sign up for LinkedIn, which means you don't use the email that says popgirl34@hotmail.com as your email on a professional network. You use something professional, right? Okay? As your email. And you can see I've already outlined Teach Week. There's Pamela Van Helsema, who is one of our Dean's coordinators. You'll see other faculty joining. I've also already added in the links to the talk that we're doing right now, the links to the packet that you have in front of you. So if you recycle that packet by accident, don't worry, it's PDF form on there. I've also given you access to opportunities. In my mind, you need to pretend that you're enrolled in this program, CSET or not, and move forward as a professional educator. And that means from April until August, you should be working hard on your own professional development. And so we have given you links to resources that we think are quality resources that all teachers need. So let me go to this page. And, oh, I've changed it. Here we go. So we have the new one. You will be doing a photo in terms of teachers educating and creating hope during Teach Week. You'll see they're doing T for Teach Week. Look, there's Kirsten right there. How exciting. And you'll notice that Pam has given you a link to the North Bay Professional Educators Network. This is where all our jobs are posted. So yes, you need to be on LinkedIn because we don't send you an email saying, hey, there's jobs available. Everyone goes to LinkedIn and we post all of our jobs there. And so you can see throughout the year what the jobs are. So you need to join that community. I have high expectations for you in terms of technology. If you feel like you're not tech savvy, it's time to find a 14-year-old that is and buy him or her a caffeinated latte. Whatever that, probably caramel on top, right? Whatever they want, you buy it for them. Or you find a friend or family member that loves technology and you have them assist you. You cannot go into this profession and think that technology isn't for you. It has to be. That's how we all communicate, especially in the North Bay. Here's your orientation packet. Here's the slides. The Maker Certificate program is available to you. If you feel like you don't understand Google, you can get certified between now and August or throughout the Credential program. But remember, it's going to be crazy. Here's Educator Innovator website that has wonderful creative things. Also, remember I talked about Common Sense Media in terms of being a partner. They have a digital citizenship certified, free of charge. You start building your resume the minute you walk out this door. Why? Because at the end of May, all of you are going to have a credential. So how do you distinguish yourself? You distinguish yourself by saying, I'm a lifelong learner. Here's the certifications I have on top of being a credential student. Here's the professional development I did when I wasn't even a student yet at Sonoma State. That's how you make your mark. That's what we expect of you. That's what we expect of the profession. And of course, there's welcome. We are extremely glad that you are here. Extremely glad. And we have high expectations of you, as we should. If you have questions or concerns about that, I'm happy to help. Let's open it up. It's 5:12. Hang on, let's wait on questions. Let me do the wrap up real quick. Remember, you are conditionally admitted. We need those scores ASAP. ASAP. Pass those scores, send them in. Return your contract to attend the program. Even if you pass and you haven't turned in the form that we sent to you, we don't know you're coming. You need to tell us, yes, I'm coming, and that provides a contract so we know, yes, Bradley is coming. Wonderful. Send us your scores. You have to return that to the credentials office. And then, of course, join the LinkedIn group. There's a link within those slides, or I can assist you with getting on that LinkedIn group because we expect you to be communicating with each other over the summer. And that's the way to do it. Why didn't we choose Facebook? Because Facebook is seen as a friendship, hanging out. This is a professional network that you need in order to get a JOB in education. All right. I've yelled at you enough. Questions, concerns, comments? Let's do this for 3 more minutes. Then folks that need to run can run. Otherwise, we will stay here for you. So 3 minutes of questions. Yell at me. I did that fabulous of a job. Come on, you guys. Yes, there we go.
My question is about the university admissions. So it's contingent upon being admitted to the university. However, I had a delay in my payment, so my question is about the registration of April 17th. If for some reason they need more time processing my payment, will the April 17th, if I don't make it register on that day, will the classes fill up?
No, you're okay. We planned for a large group like this. You're okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
In the conditional acceptance letter that was sent out, we were assigned a subject area advisor. Us two, actually, we were assigned to Dr. Kelly Estrada, who's in science and PE. However, we're in music.
I will straighten that out. Let me see me after. Andy Collinsworth is your man, and I can hook you. You know Andy? Yeah. Yes. Then you're fine. Disregard that and just go to Andy. You're good to go. You're in good hands. Yeah, we'll go there, and then we'll go there.
What's the top situation with art?
I'll get back to you on that. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'll get back to you. Yeah. You got to project for me. There you go. Use your teacher voice.
You mentioned that we might have to start training or something over the summer. What if we don't live in the area or we have a full-time job somewhere else? What's that situation?
Yeah, in terms of placement, we need to figure out a way for you to do a video conference or a phone call. In terms of those administrators, they'll probably want to talk to you. In terms of the information I showed you on LinkedIn, most of that is online and you can do in the comfort of your own pajamas.
In terms of the CSET for this May 2nd that I'm taking, how does that affect I get my results 30 days after that. How does that affect the registration for next fall in terms of what's there's priority, then there's normal, and then there's late?
Yeah, don't worry about the priority with the registration. We know, and we've designed the courses. I designed the courses with my colleagues back in February. We knew you were going to be a huge group. Don't worry, there's room. If you're in, I promise you a seat. Yeah. It might not be the time you want, but I promise you a seat. It might be at 9 a.m.
I'm a biology single subject, and I'm not able, for extenuating circumstances, able to take my CSETs until July. Should I hang in there with this program, or should I defer for a year? I know there's other considerations, but just...
Since you're science, you should hang in. Okay. And you should also hang out with Kirsten Serby afterwards. Okay. Yeah, in the back, and we'll go over here and then go around. Yeah.
At what time will we be billed for tuition?
I know I am not in charge of that, and they love to get their money. So if you have a question about that, I would look to your email or go down to admissions and records and talk to them. I'm sorry, they do not let me, they're not involve me in that conversation, so it's a great question. So my answer is get your money in ASAP.
If I email, you mean just the email that I used when I applied? Am I supposed to have an SSU email yet?
Not, if you're not in the prereqs, then no. Yeah, you're gonna take the prereqs in the summer? Or, okay, so then I would go and talk directly to admissions and records, otherwise known as A&R. You're coming into a profession that is in love with acronyms. So when people start saying PACT, A&R, CSET, feel free to say, wait, hang on, what does that mean? Because you will hear that over, you've already heard 17 of them from me today, right? So please ask, don't be shy. You're entering into a different culture, and so make sure you speak up for yourself. Where was I headed? Over here, yes.
Sorry, my memory is pretty poor and there's been a lot of information. In regards to the CSET, I took the 2 general science exams. Do I still need, so I need to take the 3rd one for Earth and Planetary Science in order to be fully admitted?
If you were science, if you're foundational science or math, please hang on, right? You're a little bit different, foundational science and math. And I would let you know that they're moving away from foundational science because of the next gen science standards. So it behooves you to actually get a science credential, not just the science credential light foundational. Yeah, did I answer your question?
I think so.
Okay,
I do. I'm taking that I
take them all.
the 3rd one.
Yes, take them all. Unless you're foundational science and you put that in your application. Yeah,
Mine's the same question, but for art, because I think there's 2 parts.
you have to take them. Take them. And if you're concerned or in doubt, call the credentials office and ask, right? It's money to sign up for these exams, but when in doubt, take all the exams, unless you're foundational science or math. And then you're gonna hang out with me after this. Pardon?
I think it's like not till July or something.
Yeah. Okay, are you excited? Are you horribly anxious right now? Yes. Okay. Yes, you're good. All right. This is what we're going to do. So remember, you have numerous ways to access the slides. You have numerous ways to access the packet. You need to sign up for Twitter and follow that hashtag. You also need to sign up for LinkedIn. If you have questions, concerns, comments, please stay. Kirsten's in the back. Susan's in the back. I'm in the front. We are so happy you're here. Congratulations on making this far. And please keep us posted on your progress in terms of CSET. Okay, have a great weekend.